Ricky Ross, T-Pain.
Got a fresh line up, yeah, fresh out.
Yo, welcome back to Guard Your Grill Boxing, #1 show on the dial. Sleep, it's your man Coltrane. That's right, I ain't hiding. We still here. We ain't going nowhere. In honor of the lightweight title fight, Manny Pacquiao. That's right. He's denounced the Pacquiao. He's Manny Pacquiao now versus Juan Manuel Marquez for the lightweight title of the world. In honor of that, we got on Leonard and Hagler in the background because, like, this fight was a great fight, classic, and you know the decision was up in the air, just like that fight last night. So, without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it.
First of all, shout out to the fight for breast cancer. That's what the pink gloves represent.
Before y'all come killing us.
But we're gonna jump right into it, man. First of all, I like to say we've been very blessed at the top of the year because all the big fights have been very big, entertaining, astute boxing matches. Fight came out, major fireworks earlier. The first 2 rounds. I had Marquez winning the first 2 rounds. I thought he was doing exactly what I said with the Rubik's Cube analogy. He was offsetting the time of the Pacquiao. Marquez was doing what he was supposed to do, boxing him, offsetting his jab. Giving him the timing. Hitting him with the 1-2 and staying away from Pacquiao's left hand.
Well, I actually got to beg to differ with my counterpart here. And let me just say something real quick to all the Pacquiao fans out there. I know I called him Pacquiao. Look, man, this is Guard Your Grill Boxing, man. We have a little fun here. Y'all was taking it too personal, too literally there. Listen, man, Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest little man fighters that ever put on a pair of gloves down there. I know this. My only point was I thought he was a little bit overrated because I thought he fought an over-the-hill Barrera Morales. That's not taking nothing away from the man and all his accomplishments. Like Sleep always said, we got the utmost respect for anybody that stepped into that square circle there. So don't even get that twisted and come at me with that nonsense. Now, moving on to the actual fight. Listen, man, I was very impressed with what I saw of Manny Pacquiao, and props to Freddie Roach for putting an A+ game plan. I mean, the first round, I thought Manny Pacquiao landed the more devastating punches, if you will. I gave him the first round and gave Marquez the second round. I mean, Manny actually came out throwing a double jab, which was something new to his arsenal. I seen him do it in fights prior, and I did notice that he did start becoming a more of a boxer, since he's been with Roach. But last night, he looked like a complete boxer last night, and I was very impressed.
Now Coltrane, this is what I think, and like I said, man, this fight as well as the Marquez Vasquez, very difficult to judge. A lot of back and forth action. Now this is where we're at odds at because the first round, Manny provided the pressure, but he was getting caught a lot with counter punches. I think he was missing a lot of shots too. So we'll get back to that.
Yeah,
the reason why we keep going back and forth because I think this first round, this is the round that the fight could have went either way. So I get into the second set, the third and the fourth.
Right.
And,
well, we all know what happened in the third round.
This is where Marquez makes his mistakes. He was shooting the 1-2, and every time he was shooting that right hand, I was looking at dots like he's leaving it out there a little too long, admiring his work. He was admiring his work. And you can't exchange
do that with a puncher.
With Manny Pacquiao. So he started landing some crisp combinations, and guess what? He wants to exchange with Manny, and boom, he's knocked on his butt.
Which is
the fight changes.
The fight changed. Not only did it change because I thought, in the second round, Marquez had his confidence up. And at times, Manny looked a little bit, a little frustrated. But in the third round, like you said, when he caught Marquez right on the button, and it wasn't like a big punch. He just showed you the strength.
This man, and I didn't mean to cut Coltrane out.
No, that's cool. It's all good.
Kept alluding to his physique being resembled of Bruce Lee. The man's
just like him.
The man's calves are like tree trunks. His upper torso, he's a very.
Who that remind you of though, with those tree trunk limbs that had the same? A little fighter down there who was
Naseem Hamed.
Who the featherweight?
Naseem Hamed.
Exactly. If it wasn't for Naseem Hamed, little people wouldn't even be on
pay-per-view.
You know what I mean? So shout out to the Prince. You know what I mean?
Well, but he knocked him out with a punch. He was like on his back foot, hit him with a short left
Marquez
side.
did one of these.
And stretched.
He leaned back. He got his lean back on.
And that shows you the physicality of Manny Pacquiao.
But let me ask you this though, Sleep. Do a lot of fighters get up from that knockout though? Tell me that wasn't pure determination in Marquez last night.
Marquez is a tough cookie.
He put Mexico. Anybody from the country of Mexico, y'all need to be happy and honored of y'all countrymen. I mean, that man fought his guts out last night, man. He fought his guts out, and that getting up from that knockdown showed the determination what he was trying to get accomplished.
And then he continued to exchange with him throughout the round.
It wouldn't stop.
Into the fourth round, Manny continues to carry the momentum into the fourth round and continues to pressure and get Marquez into trouble.
Well, you know what it is, Sleep. Like I said, Manny, he gets stronger and stronger as these fights go on, man. I thought, Marquez was boxing. He was cautiously boxing Pacquiao, but Pacquiao is such a beast and he has such strong hands. And like I said, he was throwing a double jab. He was picking punches off. He came looking like a complete boxer last night.
Now let's not get it twisted. Marquez was trying to fight the right fight. But he wasn't throwing caution to win when he was countering because he was trying to knock his head off.
Oh, yeah, he was trying to knock Pacquiao too.
He stunned Pacquiao early in the second round.
Second round when Pacquiao went into the ropes.
Yeah. So early on, some critics thought Marquez couldn't hurt him. Right there, we saw Pacquiao started respecting his power.
I got to disagree with you a little bit there, Sleep, about him actually hurting Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao, the way he fight, he's off balance a lot. And you know how it is when you fight an off-balance fighter. You get hit, it looked worse than what it really looks like.
It was several occasions in that fight.
I don't think he was really stunned.
He landed flush shots on Pacquiao that slowed Pacquiao up.
But what about the balance, though? You don't think that play?
I know that plays a part, but that's how he got knocked out. Because when he caught Pacquiao in the second, he got cocky in the third.
No, that's true.
And laid in there on the exchange.
He
don't hit as hard as him. You know what I'm saying? We're going to cut to my man Big Mike via satellite to see his opinion.
Big Mike who like knockouts.
Big Mike, give you the box score for Pacquiao. Marquez 2. I had the fight a draw all the way up until the last round. Whoever pulled that round out won the fight. Then, at the end of the 12th round, I had it leaning more towards Pacquiao. Pacquiao got the decision. It was a great fight. I like in the third round, my man Pacquiao came with that crazy punch. Boom! Put my man Marquez on his back. I think that was the deciding factor in the whole fight. If he didn't knock him down in the third round, it probably would have went to Marquez. Marquez, I got to give it to you, brother. Great counter punching the whole fight. Manny was coming with that buzzsaw. You step aside, counter him with these good counter punches, rights and lefts. Great job. Unfortunately, Pacquiao is just too strong. He just had that straight left. He had some right hooks. He mixed a lot. He got a lot of head movement in. How he does with that, all that crazy stuff he was doing. Look at my man's calves. They were huge compared for a guy that was 140 pounds. Those calves, boy, generate a lot of power. So it was a great fight. Congratulations to Manny Pacquiao. He proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of my colleagues wrong who thought the Rubik's Cube metaphor that he figured him out. Marquez figured Pacquiao out, but it didn't happen. Shout out to all the fight fans in the Philippines who's very happy that Manny pulled it out. And Marquez, you can't be mad at this victory. It was a great victory. I think there needs to be a number 3. Manny's got to say that Marquez was probably your toughest opponent that you ever faced.
That's my man Big Mike. You know what I'm saying? We got the classic in the background. Get to this Manny Pacquiao versus my man Juan Manuel
Marquez.
Into the mid rounds of the fight. And this is where I thought Marquez started boxing Pacquiao again. He started showing his dominance with the counter punches. Like
on a masterpiece, actually.
You can always tell when Pacquiao was having some frustration.
He was doing a lot of this.
He was doing a lot of that when he was getting countered, and he wasn't shooting the jab.
Right,
when he wasn't shooting the jab, and then sometimes he wasn't stalking with a lot of pressure. That's what he could
his head bobbling all over the place, like he did in the first fight, the first meeting that they had. He went back to some of those bad habits that he has. He went back to that.
The mid rounds, that's when it looked like Pacquiao pulled out a bag of tricks, which I don't have a problem with anything.
I keep telling people that.
You gotta protect yourself at all times.
Exactly.
But the man, if you looked at the replay, he smiled after that headbutt. After the headbutt came in, he had a little smirk on the side of his face like he meant to do it.
Y'all killed me for Nate Campbell. I said Bernard Hopkins, Holyfield. Listen, man. I don't have a problem with headbutt. It's a part of boxing. It happens. Like you said, you got to protect yourself at all times. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he did kind of lunge in. Man. Emmanuel said it, but he didn't want to put him on blast.
He smiled.
He lunged in.
He smiled.
He did smile, so, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to pull out all the tricks. because Marquez was a tricky SOB last. He was tricky, man. You know, he was real tricky, and like you said, Pacquiao was, you know, getting frustrated. But like I alluded to, you know, to me, this was the first time I ever see Manny Pacquiao defer to a plan B, man. Like, this cat had defense last night, cuz. He was picking off shots last night, man. Right.